Anorexia, addiction, and astronomy. These unlikely themes are gracefully woven together in Sarah Gerard's debut novel, Binary Star. It tells the story of a young couple with heavy emotional baggage. They embark on a cross-country road trip in hopes of finding their own way to shine in a sky full of stars. Joining me now is author Sarah Gerard. Hey guys, I'm Challis Popkey from Nautical Channel, and I'm here at the 17th Annual Italian Surf Expo. We're just a couple miles outside of Rome at the Santa Severa Beach. Once a year in July, for a whole weekend, this beach turns into a surfing village. And that means not only surfing, but kiteboarding, stand-up paddle boarding, live music, skateboarding, and just general fun in the sun. Why don't you say we go check it out? Cape Cod is famous for its historical cemeteries, like this one here in Brewster. To my left, we have the holding cell, which is what they used to store the bodies during the winter months when the ground was too hard to dig a proper grave. They'd leave them in there until spring came around, the ground thawed, and they could have the proper ceremony. It was restored in 2015 by the Brewster Community Association. Should we take a look inside? So with all this traveling you do for the surfing tour, you're not in Italy so much. What's the first thing that you do when you come back, and what do you miss about this country?
Of course, see my dad and my family, and then go get some pizza.
Knox has plans to spread his movement across the U.S., but there's been international interest as well, as it seems people everywhere are hungry for more human interaction in their public transit systems.
That's hot. With Monthly Music Hackathon, we take a little bit of a different approach. We're not thinking so much about the end result, we're thinking more about the process.
Right, but so this is where it starts.
You've heard of hackathons, collaborative forums that aim to solve business and social problems through technology. But at this event, they're hacking something unconventional, hip-hop music.
Yeah, hear it in the lyrics. If it inspires you, go ahead and write it.
We want to go through the life cycle of a creative project, kind of all the way from scratch, all the way through to a presentation in a single day.
The Hip Hop Hackathon took place at Spotify's New York City offices and was co-hosted by Young Hackers, a group that unites high school students from diverse backgrounds through technology.
We would always have like rap battles and stuff at our other hackathons, so we said, oh, let's just have a straight hip hop hackathon. So then we can have everybody, who likes hip hop, make something and show it off to everybody else.
The hackathon kicked off with a panel of expert programmers, educators, and music producers.
You should be learning hip-hop culture in high school. Not only in history class, you should be learning it in music class, you should be learning it in phys ed.
Then it was time for like-minded hackers to form teams and get to work.
One of the things I try to do all the time is take hip-hop songs and make them into acoustic arrangements.
I want to find somebody who is really interested in development to see if maybe we can work on a database, because we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants there and just starting the brainstorming process.
So our idea, we're calling it Hip Hop Hacks Maps, is the idea that you can look up a song's lyrics and then a map will appear with all the locations that the song mentions. Especially with hip hop, there's a lot of like hyperlocality, throwing some terms, of places and even specific addresses that can come up on the maps. So that's us.
So we're working on something called the Kimye Project, where basically it's Kanye's lyrics and songs that you can listen to on the website. Basically the way SoundCloud works, where you can add in your reaction at any point of the song, it would be the same thing, except you just add Kim Kardashian GIFs as your reaction.
The teams are wrapping up for today, but they'll be back tomorrow to put the final touches on their projects. On day 2, the groups continued, while also attending free workshops like DJ 101, Intro to JavaScript, and Songwriting.
Just wanted to be successful, but this game is very stressful. The devil's holding me back. Like, how can I let you shine?
Listening to hip hop a lot more really has led me to understand like the richness of education and of knowledge in this medium that is considered unconventional. Insect, ligament, I'm the bee's knees. Grammatically correct like question marks and apostrophes. I'm allergic to failure, you could guess I never sneeze. Me and rap go together like a pot and two fees.
While this month the focus was hip-hop, the monthly music hackathon attracts coders and musicians from many different communities. We spoke with deaf composer Jay Zimmerman, a hackathon regular whose closed captioning and music visualization software aims to make music more accessible to the deaf and hard of hearing.
I'm trying to bring wireless captioning, so you can walk into any show and you get the caption on your phone and sit wherever you want. And it works great. We just have to convince people that we have this and that it's worth it to provide captions for everyone.
After 2 full days, the teams took to the stage to demo their work.
Hip Hop Hacks Maps.
You visit our app, and when you search for a song, a search executes, and you can choose the song, and hey, we're looking at Hello Brooklyn, and it shows you Brooklyn.
As it starts, you can see that you have new GIFs coming in, and you can choose which GIF you really want to like. And the GIFs change as the music plays.
And of course, no music hackathon would be complete without a concert.
Avoid stress like your verses, avoid message. The young dawn, stay heavy, no question. Can't nobody outwear, it's a blessing.
I organize these events because I want to learn about different music subjects. There's basically an infinite number of approaches to music represented here in New York City. And if you're collaborating with people who have really different points of view than you do, you get a bunch of different, more diverse input, and so more options. And I think more options means more likelihood for innovation, more likelihood to make some new art, new science, or a new project of some kind.
Hey guys, I'm here with Leonardo Fioravanti, the most promising surfer in Italian history. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, thanks. I couldn't be better. I mean, we're at the beach, it's sunny, warm. Couldn't be better.
Oh, you grew up right around here, is that right?
Yeah, I live in Cerveteri, which is literally 10 minutes away. And I grew up surfing Banzai, which is 5 minutes that way. It feels great to be here and have so many people support surfing in Italy and near my home. It's special.
Italy, you know, it's not famous for huge waves. How did you fall in love with surfing?
Well, I mean, like today it's small, but if you're like 6 years old, you can surf, so it's fun. And then, of course, I started surfing. I started traveling when I was about 9-10 years old, going to France, southwest of France, Hossegor, Portugal, and then slowly in wintertime going to Australia and stuff. So it kind of took off, and then got some sponsors like Quicksilver and Red Bull, and I just kind of started going, never stopped.
So who have been some of your mentors along the way?
I would say my team manager, stepfather now, Stephen Bell. He works with Quicksilver, and he's taken me along with all the best guys around the world, so he's probably helped me the most. I mean, I grew up traveling with Kelly Slater, Jeremy Flores, some of the best surfers in the world. Kelly Slater is the best surfer in the world, and growing up with them was special because I learned a lot. I learned how they did things, and from a young age, I just followed them. And
Speaking of Kelly Slater, you were surfing with him in J Bay, right? Just a couple seconds before the shark attack on Mick Fanning. What happened?
Me and Kelly were the last ones left in the water, and the final already started, and Julian caught the first wave, and I caught the wave that Julian caught. And so we're getting in on the rocks, and all we heard was people screaming, the commentators screaming, going, "Shark attack, get out of the water, boats, go save them." The boats just freaking out, going towards the riders, and everybody was just in shock. So luckily Mick was fine, but I mean the videos are just crazy. You just see the great white 12, 15 foot great white just come from behind. Like when you come that close to a shark and you come out safe. I mean, is he the luckiest guy in the world or the unluckiest guy? Like you don't know.
What have been some of the greatest challenges for you?
I think my greatest challenge was this year. At the start of the year, I had a back injury. I hit the reef hard and I fractured a vertebrae. I was close to being on a wheelchair, so I couldn't go in the ocean for about 4 months, and that was really hard for me. It took a lot of patience. I learned to be patient. I learned that things happen, and I mean things happen for a reason. I mean, I had luck in my accident, so.
Well, we're glad that you're still here today and still able to get on the water. How did it feel that first time that you got back on the board and surfed again?
It was like starting to surf all over again. Like just that feeling just came back from when I was 6 years old. Right now I'm still doing some rehab. Hopefully next year I can have a full year of competition and give it my best.
So with all this traveling you do for the surfing tour, you're not in Italy so much. What's the first thing that you do when you come back, and what do you miss about this country?
Of course, see my dad and my family, and then go get some pizza.
Wonderful. Well, Leo, we wish you the best of luck with your future, and thanks for being with us here today. It's been great.
Thank you. Thanks.
How was that the jump starter defining moment in your recovery from anorexia?
This accident, this train accident, had kind of exposed the lie of that, and also removed this, ultimate, the goal of achieving this perfect beauty was no longer attainable.
I'm from Earth. Everybody's from Earth. We're people.
Not often do you find a more diverse group of people than on the New York City subway. Even less often do you find them interacting. But one man is changing this with a platform he created to foster communication underground.
My name is Thomas C. Knox, and Date While You Wait was something I created to connect with people while they commute here in New York City. I think if we spoke more in any situation, but more so in the subway, there'll be so much we can learn from each other. And that's a really big thing for me. I want to be able to create a platform where people can learn from each other. Yeah, so a date while you wait with me is essentially me getting to know a person or talk about anything they're interested in based on them playing a cool board game. So by the end of the conversation, people are walking away with smiles because I've encouraged them to do the one idea that they always want to do, and they got to play a cool game, and most of the time they get a chance to win.
Knox has connected with hundreds of commuters since he launched the movement in June 2015. And he's attracted a lot of media attention in the process.
Everybody's putting titles on it to make it something that I guess they want it to be. But for me, it wasn't a social experiment. It wasn't a theater performance. It wasn't speed dating. It was just something I wanted to do to have really great connection with people.
Knox doesn't ask for donations, and he's not looking for romance either. Date While You Wait is all about a love of people.
I guess the biggest thing is just people's stories matter.
Not only does he encourage people to learn from each other, he pushes them to follow their passion.
Whatever you have a passion to do and you're afraid to do and you're uncomfortable to do, the reason you're afraid and you're uncomfortable to do those things is because they're freaking dope. Like, they're amazing. It's your ideas, do it to the best of your ability. It may not work out, but then you learn from it. And when you learn from it, that's going to be even better. So do whatever you want to do and do it with full on exposure and do it unapologetically. Rock out.
Knox has plans to spread his movement across the U.S., but there's been international interest as well, as it seems people everywhere are hungry for more human interaction in their public transit systems.
In Manhattan, I'm Challis Popkey for Bites of New York.